Days after former President Joe Biden was diagnosed with advanced prostate cancer, reactions continued to unfold. And even though President Donald Trump expressed sadness, he still could question the timing of the announcement. Vice President JD Vance also raised concerns over transparency regarding the former president's health. And Donald Trump Jr., who was the first to speak out, suggested a possible cover-up. But these remarks by Trump and his team on former President Biden's cancer battle have drawn widespread criticism. Here's more from our next report.
Just a day after former U.S. President Joe Biden announced that he's been diagnosed with advanced prostate cancer, political reactions are pouring in, some sympathetic, others stirring controversy. On Monday evening, President Donald Trump addressed the news with an uncharacteristic note of sadness. Very sad, he told reporters. But then, with a characteristic twist, he added, "I'm surprised the public wasn't notified a long time ago."
Do you want to respond to President Biden being diagnosed with cancer? Are you going to call your predecessor?
I think it's very sad, actually. I'm surprised that it wasn't, the public wasn't notified a long time ago, because to get to stage 9, that's a long time.
Trump then appeared to confuse the medical terminology when he pointed out that the former president has a Gleason score of 9, which indicates an aggressive cancer, and questioned why wasn't Biden's cognitive ability discussed before.
And it takes a long time to get to that situation. Now, I think, to get to a stage 9, there are things going on that the public wasn't informed, and I think somebody's going to have to speak to his doctor, if it's the same, or even if it's two separate doctors. Why wasn't the cognitive ability, why wasn't that discussed? And I think
the 82-year-old former president's diagnosis, confirmed Friday, came after a small nodule was discovered earlier this month. His team said the cancer is aggressive and has spread to the bone, but remains hormone sensitive, which allows for treatment options. Now, while questioning Biden's diagnosis, the commander-in-chief then also took the opportunity to highlight his own health, claiming he aced his recent cognitive tests.
I just had my physical. You saw that. You saw the results of that particular test. I think that test is standard to pretty much anybody getting a physical, good physical.
Then, shortly after, Vice President JD Vance offered a more pointed take. Having just returned from Rome, where he met Pope Leo, Vance questioned the timing and transparency of the diagnosis.
And why didn't the American people have a better sense of his health picture? Why didn't the American people have more accurate information about what he was actually dealing with? This is serious stuff. Like I will say, whether the right time to have this conversation is now or at some point in the future, we really do need to be honest about whether the former president was capable of doing the job.
While Vance was careful not to place all the blame on Biden, he instead pointed to those around him.
Look, I mean, that you can separate the desire for him to have the right health outcome with the recognition that whether it was doctors or whether there were staffers around the former president, I don't think he was able to do a good job for the American people. And that's not politics. That's not because I disagreed with him on policy. That's because I don't think that he was in good enough health. In some ways, I blame him less than I blame the people around him.
Then came Donald Trump Jr., who was the first to react strongly and publicly. In a post on X, he questioned whether the diagnosis had been concealed. How did Dr. Jill Biden miss stage 5 metastatic cancer, or is this yet another cover-up, he wrote. Trump Jr. also revived a 2022 clip where Biden said, "I and so damn many other people I grew up with have cancer."
So damn many other people I grew up have cancer. And why can't, for the longest time, Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation.
At the time, the White House clarified Biden was referring to his past treatment for non-melanoma skin cancers and not a current diagnosis. The announcement has reignited discussions already heating up ahead of Tuesday's release of Original Sin, a new book by CNN's Jake Tapper and Axios reporter Alex Thompson. The book paints a damning portrait of Biden's final months in office, alleging that aides covered up signs of his physical and cognitive decline. It even claims staff discussed whether he might soon need a wheelchair. So, as Biden and his family weigh treatment options, the political world is left grappling with bigger questions about leadership, health, and how much the public deserves to know.
At Firstpost, we are choosing to hold on to accuracy. That means we won't always be first. We may not get you your breaking alert. But what you will get is what we owe you. And that is the truth. Verified, checked, and cross-checked. We rely on sources and verified ones. After all, that's what separates a journalist from a loudspeaker. But sometimes even we miss a beat. And when we do, we will tell you. Like yesterday, we ran visuals from a registered news agency. That visual turned out to be fake. So we are taking accountability. And from now on, we will cite the source of every visual, every picture, every video that you see on Firstpost will have a source mentioned. That is our commitment to you. We will wait, we will verify, we will ask again, and only then will we tell you. No noise, no panic, just the facts. Because right now, that is what the country needs most.